Hi, I'm Miss Laura from the Franklin Park Public Library, and we are going to be making mini piñatas. Okay, so for making your mini piñatas, you are going to need to have scotch tape, scissors, and a ballpoint pen. Um, so go ahead and let's get started. When you open up your kit, you'll have in here like a Dixie cup and ribbon, candy, the most important part, and tissue paper, a rubber band, and this is crepe paper. So the candy is going to go in the cup, but first of all, what you're gonna do is take some of this ribbon. The ribbon is going to go in 3 places in your mini piñata. So take about like about a foot, about this much of it, and cut a piece off, and then you're going to need to kind of poke holes in the top of the Dixie cup. Let me. You can use the point of your scissors, or even the ballpoint pen works for this. I'm going to use the pen. I'm going to poke a hole. I'm going to poke 2 holes, and then once I do that, I can kind of thread put the ribbon through the holes from the inside. And this is another thing, you can kind of use the pin to push it through if you want, or it actually kind of works well this way. It helps if the ribbon is pointy on the end, like that. And then do it with both ends and go through the hole. And then just pull it through and kind of tie a little knot at the end. This is actually a piñata where you'll just pull a string at the bottom to open it up. So it's not this is kind of an individual piñata. These are really good for like a party favor, making for your friends, or kind of a decoration. So once you get the ribbon tied to the top, that's the way that you'll be able to hang it. Fill it up with your candy. Just kind of push it in there. And you're going to cover it up with this tissue paper. So the tissue paper, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this square into a circle by folding it in half and then half again. And then this corner right here, I'll go ahead and cut this into a rounded, like that. And then it kind of made it into a kind of a rounded square. And then I'll go ahead and place this over the top of the cup, or I guess that's, yeah, and then use your rubber band to kind of hold that on. And kind of smooth this down a little bit. So once you have that, you're going to decorate it with this crepe paper. You have 4 pieces. And what I like to do, I like to stack things up to cut it. You're going to cut it so it has fringe on it. So rather than doing these individually, I'll carefully kind of stack these up. And just kind of cut part way. Don't just cut like maybe about halfway. And with them stacked up, you'll separate these later, but this way you could do these individually, but if you stack it up, it's just kind of faster. So once you do that, then we're gonna wrap these around the bottom of we're gonna wrap and stack basically. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this on, and then I'll use I overlapped it over here. I'll use just really small pieces of tape to tape it on around it. maybe in 4 or 5 places. So when you do that, the next layer will kind of overlap the area where the tape is, so it doesn't really affect how it's okay to have it like this. And kind of put tape around it in a few places. You don't have to tape the whole thing around, but once it's like that. Now take another color, and with this part that you cut pointing down on the bottom, repeat that again, and using tape to kind of go around and tape it on. First of all, is you want to have this kind of above where you want to have the dark blue showing, so you want to layer it where it's kind of higher. It goes higher each time, each layer of color. And it's totally okay if it overlaps. You won't really need to shorten it. It'll kind of make it look even fluffier the more it overlaps. Once you have it like that, and then just repeat that again with the next color, and then make sure that each layer is a little bit higher than the last one, so that you can see a little bit a strip of each color. And then go ahead and tape it around the top. I'm going to tape this in like 4 places. If it's kind of seems like there's extra, you can kind of actually push it together and overlap it a little bit, and that will make it tape on tighter. Sorry. Okay, the last layer, you line it. You kind of line it up with the top, which is actually the bottom of the cup, but we have the cup upside down. And then do the same thing where you tape it. And I just tuck the tape inside this rim. And I'll do the same thing. I'll maybe tape it in about 4 places. Okay, great. So once you have this is what it's going to look like. You'll take, you have the extra ribbon, cut off about 1 foot again, maybe like that, and save that for later, for the last step. So this part you can wrap it around the top. Let's see if I can do a reverse knot, like tie a knot. So you're going to tie this, but kind of wrap it around it maybe a couple of times to decorate the top portion. And also it kind of covers up the Scotch tape a little bit too, so it's partially decoration and it's partially hiding the tape at the top. And I'll go ahead and tie this. Maybe a double knot. Whoops. And then maybe wrap it around a couple more times. Let me tie another double knot to hold it in place. And then if you ever have used this kind of curly ribbon, you open up your scissors and carefully kind of press the ridges against with your thumb, and you kind of pull it, and that will cause it to curl up. And so that's another part of using this ribbon for the decoration. So kind of, so like that. Now the last step is taking your tape. Take a piece about, about a 2-inch piece and put it in the middle of your last piece of ribbon. And you'll tape this to the bottom. And you want to make sure this, just kind of go back and forth, make sure that it's taped real well. And maybe press it a little bit so that it hangs out. So when you have this, what will happen is that when you pull this, it'll rip the bottom open. So instead of hitting this with a stick, you'll tear it apart and the candy will just fall down. So you hang it up and then pull the string and the candy will fall out. I hope you enjoy making your mini piñata. Thank you for watching.